have been maybe more effectively used somewhere else as well, but Bengalis Bohemians can be a super strong combination. Bulgarians for More would be a bit the vulnerable flank, but Bulgarians also, as we saw with the previous Spain set and as we discussed in the winner interview, one of the best civilizations to kind of as a cheaper civ go against Celts. So yeah, I like that thought as well. If they were expecting Celts, it's a Franks pocket and a Britain flank for Ganji and Spaden. Yeah, but then you have people watching the stream and there's spec delay, right? Etc, etc. That's already 2 minutes. And apparently streaming on Discord is not allowed. But anyways, what do we think about the civilization? Predictions is up as well. We are ready to start the quarterfinals. So let's set up the flags. Welcome to the Deathmatch Nations Cup quarterfinals. We've got the mighty Swedes, led by Frost, against Tatoh's team in the team of Spain. And we do have captain versus captain action in the south. Oh, it's not captain, it's technically champion, just the captain. But we've got Tatoh versus Frost in the south. Tatoh on the Bohemians, Frost on the Celts. In the north, it will be Ganji's Britons versus More's Bohemians. I feel like that's better for Sweden around this way. Chambridge with the Bengali pocket, very dangerous, and it is a classic Franks pocket for Spaden. Even though I remember Spaden and Franks weren't the greatest combination last TDM. Frost is Celts, so it's GG, says Warpath, but I mean, Tatoh is one of the best armors on the planet and also one of the best DMers on the planet. And with Haufnitze, maybe there's a chance. Needs some onagers as well, though I would say, against Celts. Otherwise, you can die really fast here. And Frost, obviously, best siege player in Deathmatch. Can punish him. Helvetia start as well. Champion start for Frost Knight. Elephant Archers immediately coming over here to secure this side. Mora, however, lost 2 villagers. Ganji even with 1 kill with a British start. So must have been the light. I don't think it was the light kill. I think it was actually a Helvetia or something. Paladins wreaking havoc though. Palisade walls are almost spotted. And Mora is losing a lot of villagers to Spaden's Paladin rush here. Quite some damage done on the flank, raiding the elephant pocket, not as worth it. And against these two civilizations, the Bengali Bohemian stack, you usually want to go all in against the player on the other side, especially if they are on a slower civ, like Bulgarians. British onagers even forward for Ganji, so they are indeed going very aggressive. Spaden spamming the paladins, battle elephants, and some elephant archers are coming over, trying to help on this side. On the southern side, also armies uniting for the Spanish, as Frost is looking to progress, looking to secure the corner, and Ganji is looking to lock down the northern corner as well. Villager for Mora is first, but Mora has a lot of trouble in his base, so I'm kind of surprised that he's already going towards the corner. Mora's population doesn't look good at all. We're down to 18 population. Chambridge's army here needs to move in a little bit more maybe as well. Fighting on these outsides, so it's like as a pocket you just patrol in and you think that's helpful. But you actually need to get onto the stream of the opponent's units. And Spaden is coming also from this side. Really nice line there, combining it with Ganji's all-in Britain push here, kind of. Lots of Scorpions, lots of Onagers forward already, as well for the Britons. Not waiting for the Archer Mass, really. Just going for lots of Siege Workshops. What an interesting and good adaptation play by the Britons. So has therefore the Scorpions against the Elephant Pocket. The early Scorpion Mass up here by the Britons is very, very smart play from Ganji. In the south, Tatoh is able to stabilize. Didn't get run over by Frost Scales just yet, but that is a big, big siege ball for the Swedes. Siege Archers jumping onto the Hussite Dragons. Haufnitzer behind, trying to shoot at these. More still in big trouble. The forward army is still there for Sweden. Ted is trying to shoot the Onagers, but the Rams kind of swords and Rams. That's the programmed strategy to beat Bohemians. Normally, as the wagons are really bad against the Rams, the Haufnitzer don't really hit them when they're moving fast enough with infantry in them. And then, if there's no Onagers for the Bohemians, there is no chance. So Frost will crush Tatoh in game 1. It's a classic Frost Kells. On the top, the other two playing together also are winning their side, and this is looking Team Frost galore style. Frost wins the 1v1 with a power sieve, and the other two players just can play absolutely 100% together because they know they don't have to care about Frost's side. And that is how Sweden and Team Frost in various formats get so many wins. Including this one, including a dominant start to the quarterfinals for the Nordic team. That is like exactly how Team Sweden, Team Frost usually looks. And the textbook strategy, but they've used their Celts already. And Spain still has the Celts. Ganji is still overrated. Did the Spanish actually say that? I'm not sure if they said that or if Greek quoted that. I know it was on my stream, but what the hell do I remember? 1-0 for Sweden. And Spain also invested civs though, right? Bohemians, Bengalis, losing them quickly feels bad, I can tell you that. But it can happen if Frost plays Celts, and Ganji really liked how he mixed in the early siege here in order to quickly pressure that side as well together with Spaden. So Cambridge didn't know where to go, didn't know where to help. He's even raiding Chambre. So very nice play by the whole team of Sweden. This is the only map they lost to Russia too. They've got Sweden right where they want them. Alright. Completely no copium by Lucky Cubs whatsoever, as Sweden takes game 1 with Frost's classic teal color on the display. Next lobby is hosted. We are going to Canyon Lake any second now. How did this get smaller? Spain used Celts. No, Spain didn't use Celts yet, but Sweden used Celts, and they used a Frank's Pocket, and the Britons are gone. Whereas Spain spent Bohemians and Bengalis, which hurts a bit. At least they still have Celts. And then the third civilization was the Bulgarians for more. And Rocco Kargas, welcome to the stream as well. If you want to watch more Team Nations Cup in the future, the other quarterfinals for example, a follow helps so you don't miss them. You will not miss game 2 though, because it is started. We are going to Canyon Lake Can Spain come back into the series? A swift win would be really nice for them. And it is now Ganji's time to play Bohemians. Oh lord, Frost on the Teutons. Kamrat is playing. Get another point over Keller here as the Tatoh. And yeah, the Spanish want to equalize the score quickly. More is going for Kels. More is going for Kels though. Tatoh feels like my Civ was too slow last game. Let me rush with Cav Archers. Let me do some damage fast. I don't like it that I just have to sit around and wait for the Frost push to appear. So Tatoh is going Magyars. Also a bit of the counter civilization to the siege push, I guess. So he's now playing something that's good against Celts, but Frost has used Celts already. What is Kamrat hate? Like, I don't know, it's Kamrat. Do you guys really think that Spaden is that much stronger? And quickly reflex. Welcome to game 2. We're on Canyon Lake. Frost is playing as the Teutons, Kamrat with the Tatoh pocket, and Ganji up top with the Bohemians. Ganji's Bohemians will be facing Mora's Celts. So we get the same matchup again, just with Ganji versus Mora now, instead of on the other side where it's once again Tatoh versus Frost. Tatoh killed a villager but lost 2 villagers against the scouts, trying to open fully range. Oh boy, oh boy. That was maybe a bit too daring as against... Oh, saves that villager so narrowly. 1 HP on him. Chambre up top on the Hindustanis. Gamba is up as well. Mods forgot the ads though, sorry. As Kamrat is coming in with the Camel Riders. And already got a kill. Frost got a kill as well. Bad start for the Spanish. Now the Cav Archers for Tatoh looking for damage. And what's happening at the top? We once again have Ganji just sending his helps forward in hopes for damage against Mora. I think it worked last game, and he once again finds a kill with random Helvetius in Mora's base. That is quite sloppy. Mora also starting TC so early with 8 barracks. Mora's build orders don't look clean today. I think they look better in the last round. Jambridge on the Hindustanis, Celts and Hindus, so massive invest here for Team Spain as well, or right again, but both teams seem to be bringing the best civs to the first few games here. Cambridge sending all his army to the south, leaving the Celts alone, so trying to play basically like Team Sweden played last game around the Celts. But obviously in this time it is Frost on the other side, so he gets 2 Teuton castles up easily and the siege out. They lose only 1 villager. Tatoh still looking for damage with the Cav Archers, but Frost is building the siege death ball. Tatoh has only 1 castle. Is it only me, or do you also feel that Spain looked a lot stronger in the last series? Maybe it's because of the attacks? Oh, Mora will kill a castle here. Insta-kill on Ganji's castle. And not insta, but siege manager kill on Ganji's castle foundation. It's looking a bit scary here, just needs to... He's making champions, he's making rams, so he's looking to reproduce what Frost did in the previous game. Spain seems a bit nervous. Yeah, to me as well, right, Paula? I feel like these build orders were a lot cleaner when they were playing Russia. Felt more confident, and they're scared of Sweden, and could be like, or they're scared of Sweden, I don't know. It looks a bit like they're scared of Sweden, so their builds are very unclean. Like these houses, the buildings are like half up for Tatoh. The no stable start at all. Don't think it's that great of a choice. I guess he wanted to punish students early and didn't work, or he didn't wall them in. Also palisade walls. It's not pretty. It's not pretty. The pressure is not the same? Yeah, but like... Does it have to be that different on the builds? Elite War Traders and Rams are out. I mean, Mori needs to find a way to carry this because he's Celts. And Ganji is pretty much on the same comp than Tatoh before, with one important difference. He has made onagers. And that is so important. If you have onager support, that changes a lot. And you'll notice things like bad builds much they don't get punished for it against weaker comp. Yeah, but I think they look different as well. I would need to check, but you also just see the build, right? You forget it easy if the game goes longer though. Camel's kind of running into the base. Maybe you meant from the player side though. Temperatures are starting to fall. No castles in Tatoh's base anymore. Frost has a siege onager Sith. Doesn't really matter if it's Celts or something else. He is fighting against two successfully here. Kamrat's units running around in the middle. Some are here on top to support. I think that's kind of where they need it. And it feels a bit like the plan where to be as a pocket was indeed a bit clearer with Spaden. I get some units onto the siege onagers. I would really like some cavalry here by Kamrat, right? There's no protection at all on the siege of More. Finally some infantry coming forward, but no clear attempted, no clear done, because it's a bit too many cav archers maybe here from the pocket. You were assuming that the Magyar is in a bit of a better state and more dangerous. Or, well, against Hindustanis, I guess you don't want to go too much cav if you're fighting, assuming you're fighting pocket versus pocket. I think Kamrat was thinking about the pocket matchup here. But yeah, some Kashaks or camels, something to run into the siege onagers would be really practical. In the north, but Ganji has formed a good battle line regardless. Now Chambra is appearing with the camels. Why is Chambra playing pocket this series? I feel like Chambra should play flank and Mora should play pocket, no? Mora's also been playing pocket, playing flank. I think they did the same last set. For some games, oh, a massive shot on the Haufnitzel. But if Chambra has a good DM start, so I think maybe he should play flank. Kamrat now appears with the cavalry, now is here to clear up the siege. Haufnitzel shooting from behind. And once more, I don't think it's looking good for Team Spain on either front here. The Sweden effect is still there. All the dreams of the 4-3s. Keller said it was copium, but it doesn't look too realistic. The flanks just feel a lot stronger for Team Sweden. Tatoh now pushing back a little bit, trying to halt this bombard cannons from Chest to pocket. Weird pocket unit, but we see Mars, kind of Mars Hindustani BBC working out though, clearing the trebuchets, pushing Frost back. So Chambra with the BBC edition from pocket, not something we see too often, but something that Magyars obviously don't have, is stabilizing the left side. So a little bit more of a stable, a little bit more of a longer game than game one already. The later the game gets, maybe Spain can mobilize their arm prowess a bit more. Holy, what happened to Kamrat's RM elo? Oh my god. That's throwing RM elo, right? What happened to Kamrat? He used to be 1700. Well, he came back from quite a break, I guess. I'm 200 elo above kamrat. That's unusual. Hiding line on the right side still relatively stable. We do have middle control with one demo. Minimal water investment, even though demos are a bit more expensive now. And it has calmed down on the flanks, and I mean, if it gets late, Magus are pretty good with the cav archers, right? At least in 1v1 they always wanted to go late. And Teutons lose a bit of mobility. I don't know if they still have Paladin. You're here for the Kells OP play? Well, I hope you were also here for game 1, because Kells don't look as OP. Sorry, Moral, but they don't look as OP in your hands as they do in Frost's. Kells actually are looking quite weak right now. Only 3 castles here. Structures falling at the front. Haufnitzer can melt those really quickly. Forward castle for Ganji. And I think someone said earlier that there was a theory that Frost will win with these 4 civs, and then there was the addition, and if Ganji plays Bohemians, that should also be a definite win. And it's even versus Kells, and they're against the stronger pocket. Tatars for kamrat raiding nicely here now. Against Hindustanis is a higher tier pocket, but they're winning their side regardless. As Froster had a nice push early on, but Tatoh is pushing him back a little bit. Somehow killed this castle though. kamrat now being active on both sides. Going for big caching raids as well. Raids can be very annoying on this map. It's a bit like Outcrop as in the woodlines. Make it harder to fortify the trade line. There at least is a trade line. Yeah, it's just a car, so that should drive by, hopefully without shooting. Caravanserai coming up. Cambridge is thinking about it. Playing against Ganji, you always have to think about Caravanserai, right? He's probably doing a Caravanserai check on your base while they are playing. Tatoh opened 1 will per stables versus Russia. Can't do that versus DMers. But he opened 0 stables in this game. He opened 1 will per range in this game. I'm not sure if it was 1 will per range, I would have to check. But he did open range and that didn't work with DMers. Haufnitzer running a bit, shooting on units. Or wants to improve his statistics even more. Top score on his team is not enough for him. Some safe kills always go a long way with that. 3 kills, baby. Never has really that mass together though, right? Also his beginning mix of siege onagers and rams was like 3 rams, 5 onagers or something. Whereas Frost in the last game had massed like 15 onagers and 15 rams. Or like even 20 maybe. That makes a big difference. Lots of Mega Hussar attempting to snipe the siege of Frost over and over again. Both teams are setting up their trade. Very set up already for Frost and Ganji. 0 trade for kamrat. That is getting some gold in the middle, but kamrat's out of gold. kamrat just forget to trade? He does have a market. Oh, I'd say my point, I look at chat and guess Malta has noticed too. Trembridge trying to go on water. Everybody in Team Spain has trade. Tatoh is a little bit low though, and they are by far not as high as Frost on trade. Frost can maybe start slinging kamrat the gold so kamrat can make trade. He has started now. 4 cards won't be that much of trade though. Does kamrat still have an army? No, kamrat has no army because he has no gold. And he doesn't want to make Hussar because that makes him look bad, but not having trade as well, honestly. And Cambridge can use that opportunity maybe for some deadly raids that Kamrat is out of gold. So that's a little bit of a risk for Sweden. I think long-term Ganji will beat Mora to the trade. But if they can get these kinds of raids, because Chambridge is free to roam, there could be a chance for Team Spain. Is LSD really called Luigi? I mean, I know it's also a normal name. He is. LSD says no. Okay. Eisen is Mario by that then. So every time Eisen enters my chat now, I'll say Mario. Guess who will be benched if they lose this game? Frost9. I mean, he's kind of losing to Tatoh. Your name is? Eminem. Slim Shady. Marshall Mathers. Well, kinda, I guess. Frost still has an army and is pushing back, but Tatoh gets a frontal castle up. Chamber gets to run around everywhere. 9 trade cards for Kamrat. Yeah. I tried to stand up for my boy. It's the same as with Shikso. Whoever I try to say positive things about, you know, instant regret. Moore has an army together again. World Raiders and Rams trying to dodge the Haufnitze shots. It's kind of losing to Tatoh what to do. Yeah, I mean, he's Frost9, come on. We expect him to win his side. Regardless of Civ, regardless of matchup, and regardless of opponent. They might meet soon again, right? I think they're both at the Swedish LAN. They obviously, Tatoh will be the favorite, but... whoever loses here could get their revenge in a LAN format. Glitched Masters, I think, is the name. You want to Wikipedia it? Pop caps look good for Team Spain. And siege dance in the north. I still think Ganji has a good position to push. No Helvetiers here though. If Kamrat, if Chamber would come in there, think where's Chamber's army? Well, that's his navy. That's not what I was looking for. Oh, it's cleaning raids by Frost. Frost is raiding. Well, is he? They're kind of trapped. Hi Monunes. Hi Be Easy. Hi Peon. And hi LSD, even though you don't want to tell us your name. So if you don't tell us your name, you will be Luigi and Eisen will be Mario. Easy. Forward castle and a very confusing all-sides battle. The camels of Chamber have appeared where I wanted to have them. Against the infantry Haufnitze army. Helvetiers are now being produced for Ganji. That might be too late though. Yeah, that castle went up. But the castle can go down quickly against the Rams. The camels, some units by Kamrat right in the moment that it was necessary to save the Haufnitze. Haufnitze saved, castle falls. Is our result. Kamrat here with pure army again. He is back to PopCap. Has 29 trade cards now, so situation seems fixed. The little late to trade issue that we had earlier. Tatoh wants to change the situation again though. Wants it change it back to trade issues, going forward with a Mega Hussar raid. Unit that doesn't cost gold, trying to raid the gold. Therefore, less frontline though. Camels of Chambridge not really fighting here, probably focusing over there. They were attempting for the cleanup in the north. Cleanup didn't quite happen. Kamrat was there in time to meat shield the army of Ganji again. Now Ganji has some halberdiers again. But obviously there is road raiders. Do we have anything to kill the hand cannoneers? Those scorpions feels like it's not the siege unit the Celts want to make here. Sorry, smart guy, but I think this is more of a siege ram onager situation. Against bombard cannons usually scores not really the play. Spain winning this game? It's at least a lot more even than it looked at the start. Spain kind of bit on a pushback in the north now. Tatoh with a good position on to Frost in the south. It is a solid matchup for the Magyars against the Teuton. Has to be said, the Cavalry is really hard for Teutons to deal with. Magyar Hussar, lots of them are getting made. Guess that can weigh in some gold sling. Frost maybe feels a little bit of desperation going for the raids. Kamrat trying to stabilize the northern side, but the Celts are pushing back. Lots of room was gained by Ganji, so this game has legs, guys. Caravanserai check. Did already point it out earlier. Chambret has thought of them. One more here, not there. One more there could be nice, and we have a little bit of a gap here. But generally they're a polar raid. Teuton Paladins. Or why is this a polar raid? I remember playing in CMod 1 against Polar, and he was always constantly raiding me with Paladins, so I guess I get it. When he's losing his side, he often goes raid. Oh. But who doesn't, no? I think good players, when they're losing, they start to raid in order to be able to come back. Isn't that just what you're supposed to do? That Frost is losing his side, though. The GG comes soon after. Yeah, the GG with Polar comes very quickly. That's the more Polar special situation. It also comes without asking the teammates. You've sniped the straps with all those Paladin instead of going to raid? Okay, yeah, Maida with the more defensive name. Nunes with the more defensive thoughts. Tatoh still making progress though. The traps of Frost were killed as well in the north. Once more big army fights. 2 armies versus 2 armies. Haufnitz account pretty low for Sweden. I mean, a 1-1 in this set would already be, with these Sylvan Vests, kind of be a massive news in terms of DM. And we do have outside wagons and camels as well. Yeah, Polar's also saying that always discuss the raid when we are up against it to distract the opponent deals encounter damage. Yeah, I think it's just what you... I think it's generally just a very good play to do that. They also, like, then sends armies back to deal with the raid, so the armies can't push you. Rams finding their way onto the Haufnitz. Haufnitz a fall for Ganji. Rams? Is that Ram attacking a hand cannon? That Ram's attacking a hand cannon! I was attacking a castle. Should have been attacking the Haufnitz though. Well, Spain is holding. Sweden is holding here. Frost losing more structures though. Tatoh, very shaky start into domination of this side. Frost doesn't clear the defense. He's trying for more raids, following the logic described by his teammate WB Polar, that will play tonight in yet another huge quarterfinals versus Austria. Score switch incoming? Not yet. Sweden still more points. Cambridge with the big raids. I feel like kamrat is maybe a bit overboomed now as well. Ganji is overboomed too. Women's are relatively cheap here, no? Do you need 155 eco for both of them? I think that's too high for both Ganji and kamrat. Tatoh sitting on a nice 120, meaning he has 80 army at his disposal. Chamber going for another raid. Could just run in here, right? Where is he going? There's castles on this trade side as well. Just going for a more confusing road to the trade, and it's not that easy for the worst camels of the Tatars to clean that up. There isn't castles everywhere. There's a good castle setup, and it's a bit hard on this map. But, well, I guess it doesn't matter if Chamber forgets about his raid. Progress is being made in the south, though. Chamber now they are together with Tatoh's army. Ganji pushing in the north again, however. There's a chance for Sweden. 3-4 castles need to fall. And Ganji would be in the trade. What are these Cavaters firing at? Houses? Yeah, I think they're firing at houses. Maybe Ganji was the scary one after all? With Bohemians, surely. With Bohemians or traction traps? Ganji is really scary. I mean, traction traps is overall that scary because of the civilizations that get them. But give like Ganji Wei or Wu, and like Wei or Wu feel good. Ganji or Ruben stock with traction traps, that's something different than other people with traction traps. Really nice positioning of the hand cannons as well. Right on top of the hill, fully using their extra damage here. What Raiders try to just run through them to not be shot down from up here, also to snipe the Haufnitzer. Don't really get that one done though. Rams also, I think, attacking uphill here. Cambridge has to send a lot of units to deal with this side. kamrat and Ganji pushing there. Cross drop is popping. Has lost the farms at the front. Doesn't have much space to farm anymore. Also, kamrat, Frost farms intertwining here. 44, 71 has a lot of gold income. Trying to make only Paladin. Against Cav and Imperial Camels just doesn't feel that amazing. Does he have any siege left? 2 siege onagers. Yeah, Frost might be the flank that gets broken here for the first time in Deathmatch history since 2022. Frost is losing his side in a tournament. For a second I thought that was Hyperbowl, but I thought of tournament games in Carry Me or Die. And I didn't remember any where Frost lost his side. That might have just been accurate. Obviously, Tatoh good contender to get it done. I think the old Paladins will die as well. Yeah, that was not a good engagement for Frost. Not a sentence I say very often. In Michi he did lose some games, but individual engagements aren't really a thing there. kamrat slinging Frost now from no trade to slinging the captain. Will that be enough though? Castles are falling. I think they're still hoping to have a push in the north, but Ganji was pushed back as well. Cal Siege too strong, too hard to have Helvetiers and hand cannoneers out at the same time. Mega Hussar entering the trade. Southern Castle has fallen for Frost. Here comes the last hurrah. The last hurrah, but Chambridge is there. Chambridge has the Imperial Camels in position, so there's no hurrah for Frost. Snipes the traps, delays the inevitable on this side. Can he delay it enough for the Swedish team to win the top? Wood is starting to become scarce, so they are a bit turning towards the middle. Kamrat trying to go for some raids. Imperial Camels very good at cleaning up cache crates though. And what is cleaning up the Imperial Camel Raids? Who watches the Watchmen? I think those who will watch game 3 perhaps. This is looking very solid for Spaden. Kamrat doesn't support Frost. They have a net win this whole life. That's just how every Frost team works. You don't play Frost side. Frost wins Frost side. You don't have to think about Frost side as a pocket ever if you're playing in Team Frost. Frost probably also tells his teammates to never think about his side. So. I mean, look at like last Carry Me or Die. Oyachan's role was very clearly defined there. Get market, spam camel, spam them to the side that Frost is not on. As Frost calls the GG and Sweden loses their first game in Deathmatch Nations Cup. Tatoh, after a shaky start, gets it done with the heavy cav archers and mega hussars. Pushes the Teutons back, while Ganji on the other side was stopped by More, who was also pushed to the brink, but stabilized and came back from there, while Frost had a good initial push. Tatoh's base even was gone, right? But then Tatoh pushed back that side as well. Really impressive comeback after a hard start for Team Spain. I want to see Tatoh's opening, because we talked about it. Oh, the absolute opening. No, it's 2 villages on 1 range, so it's not 1 per, but... Okay, capsules, favorite, hello. That's a Teuton Scout. This is the start to a game where Tatoh beats Frost, guys. I can't... Watching this start after we just watched the end is something. That villager surviving on 1 HP was so close. Well, he got the cav archers out. Is more LAN? I don't think so. What a difference between the start and the end of this game. But well, those are the best armors in the world. They can come back from everything. Tatoh also one of the best DMers of the world of the past decades, of course. So no slouch there. Had a shaky start, but managed to win the side against Frost. And More with a really good hold on the other side. More is young, Lan is not. Well, that's a difference. His start is worse than yours. No, your start isn't even that bad. Don't act like it would be so bad. Cambridge with most the rest collected trade difference. Sorry, Kamrat, but we have to talk about it, I feel. 66k trade profit for the Hindustani pocket. 26k trade profit for the Tatar pocket. A solid 40k trade difference Obviously, there is Caravanserai here. But, you know, starting trade before minute 20 helps as well. Villagers. At least kamrat got the most villagers to make up for his lack of trade. Fastest in a player in the game. Unsurprisingly, Tatoh. Ganji is pretty close though. And Frost is also not as slow anymore. 59. Frost getting fast, man. But he's getting fast and he's losing games, so should have gone back to 30 APM. GG, we've got a series, guys. Sweden versus Spain, and it is 1-1. Celts haven't lost yet. Won a lot quicker for Sweden, though. And we're more the defensive side for Spain, as they've used Celts. They have used the Magyars, and they have used the Hindustanis already. So top row getting empty quick for Spain. Bohemians used by Sweden. Just tried to hold with the Teutons, and Tata pocket only for kamrat. So I think they had worse civs on all three positions for Sweden, right? Bohemians versus Celts, I would favor Celts. Tatars versus Hindus is just clearly Hindus better. And Teutons versus Magyars. After the start, I think I like the Magyars more. And that's also where they started to be good. GG! 1-1. Let's go. And we are already started on Vinland Saga. So let's hop right into game 3. As this might be a quick one. Vinland Saga as home map for Sweden. Still have their own Magyars, maybe? Somewhere we need to see Mongols, but that's probably close to mountain. Not the rushiest civs in this pool, so can't really play that aggressively. We do have Huns though, and Frost is playing the Huns. He died to Cav Archer, now he's going himself for the Cav Archer. A bit of similar logic to the one of the Spanish last game. Welcome to game 3. The pivotal game 3 between Spaden and Sweden and with Spaden. Sweden and Spain in the south. We've got Frost as the Huns facing Tatoh once more. Tatoh is going for the Frost Sicilians. The straightaway castle start without a barracks. He wants to get those castles and needs to get the siege out fast against the Hun. On the top side, Ganji is playing Bulgarians. Relatively slow civ for this map. Against the Britons, also slow civ. But, I don't know, I don't mind this for Britons. I think this is a good matchup for Britons. In the middle, we've got Chambridge with a Teuton pocket. Against Spaden with a Magyar pocket. So we've got the same matchup in the middle now. And that should be a great pocket matchup for Spaden? With just Paladin CA? Frost is rushing the pocket because Sicilian castles are up. Morel lost a villager, is trying to rush forward with the Helmediers like Ganji always does. It's always Frost versus Morel and Tatoh versus Frost. Cav Archers looking for some kills, and we've got a pause as Spaden was in the process of doing quite some damage to Morel here. Castle should go up any second though. Britons feel terrible here. Why? I think Britons feel amazing, no? Have I heard about the conspiracy that Sweden doesn't exist? No, I thought Belgium doesn't exist. Sec, is Hans on draft? And I say it, right? There's no fast civs in pool 3. And then I load in the game, and I thought I forgot. And I thought, oh yeah, of course, there's Hans. In pool 1, not pool 3. In pool 3 there would have been Hans. There's no fast civs in this pool. And then I'm like, oh yeah, but there's Hans, true, there's Hans. And I don't think twice about it. Frost didn't think twice about it either, as we have ourselves a situation, a classic Frost situation. It happened to him on the Michi tournament as well. And that is pretty bad news for Sweden, because now Spain gets to pick their civilization. Or was there like a complicated process again, as in CMOD? I forgot. We need rulebook time! Well, I don't need to think about this game anymore and the raid, because we're gonna see a new one. So... incorrect civilization usage. Teams are only allowed to use a civilization They are not allowed to. The game will require a restart with the following changes. The civilization's team positions players must remain the same as defined in the restart section. The non-offending team will select a replacement civilization for the incorrect civilization. They may choose any civilization that the offending team has remaining, provided it does not cause another incorrect civilization violation. So, Sweden can pick Armenians. Can pick Armenians for Frost. Spain leaves it up to them? I would not do that. Against Sweden? Really? Well, I guess they were late and Sweden had to wait for them. Better pick a way good water civ if they have Team Islands in the draft. True, could do that as well. But what is a good water civ here? Do you want to play against Spanish now? China on land? Yeah, China on land might make sense. Well, we started again. I think Spain was being too nice. Overconfidence after they won a game, maybe? Chinese would be good here too. Yeah, I don't need much food. As yeah, I think this is leaving up to Sweden, because Frost is on Sicilians now. And I read the rulebook instead of going to the restroom. Rip me. Double check if everything's correct, and I think we need a new Gamba, because the last game didn't count. Assassins in the Sifu. Now that would be funny, because then both teams would be offending. And Spain has Teuton Pocket versus Megas. This is so over. They needed to pick Armenians, man. Flags can change too now. Yeah, I think those were solid for... I don't know, I like Britons versus Bulgarians for the Britons. On this map especially, because food is hard to come by on the flanks. Well, we get another take. Sve versus Spa. Welcome to game 3 again. Same civs, but Tatoh is fighting Frost again. Okay, same distribution as well. So we've got a Sicilian's mirror in the north now. Spain too nice, I agree. And in the south it will be once more Ganji. You might lose a villager. Doesn't. Versus Morris Prince. Plus the Sins are nasty. Yeah, can donjon this part here. At least you can't donjon the ice. Also, obviously, Sweden saw the civilizations of Spain, so Frost could just decide for a mirror. I don't know. Feels like a mistake. Double sound? No. 1-0 EcoKD in favor of Frost on Chambridge. Okay, well, that was Sicilian, so it didn't bother. Both going for crab posts. Both transitioning to the land with crab post arenas. What's happening in the south in the non-mirror? We've got 200 swordsmen out with the extra melee armor. And Kamrat moving forward for Spaden. The pocket sieves are a bit of an issue for the Spanish. Hit that Frost Bio? You mean the one where you go for the castle right away? I also don't. I'm not a big fan. Dungeons really haven't been strong. Well, unless you're playing against Frost, then they always feel strong somehow. Well, the difference is you can produce from this one, whereas you can't produce from a tower. That is their main strength. And that's kind of why they're allowed, because of their production building. If you don't produce from dungeons, dungeons are a lot less oppressive than they are if you produce from them. Tatoh is producing from them while Frost isn't. Oh, that's my point, I guess. But that's just because Frost isn't queuing at all. Now he's queuing from them again. At least the Paladins of Chambridge are a bit more useful on this side with all the dungeons, right? Problem for Team Spain is the south, where the Bulgarians can unite with the Magyars, and Magyar CA are surprisingly good against longbows. Maybe not cost efficient, but definitely pop efficient. And the extra range makes them take better engagements than other CA. And this looks like More is limited to his island. He got one castle up at least on the mainland. Yeah, the damage output is also not bad. It's just that like the infantry isn't that strong in team game 3v3 flank as it is in like 1v1 or 2v2. Because there's tends to be opponents with good siege on their side. Obviously, here mirror, so that's not the case. Cavalier only added in by Frost. No Cavalier by Tatoh. Frost pushing here a little bit, but the big story is here. The big story is Morris base. The big story is Ganji's push. Supported by Spaden. Now here comes the Paladin from Chambridge's pocket. But they are like in this position when the fire is burning in this position. Really annoying hill here in front of the base as well. And Ganji is using that Spaden is using with his cav archers. Now tries to catch the pocket. But the base is being flooded by Ganji. And Ganji also has some infantry units here to support Spaden's cav archers, provide a nice meat shield. I think they're cleaning up Cambridge here. And when they've cleaned up Cambridge, there's nothing stopping Ganji's push anymore. And that might indeed be the GG, as Frost seems to also break the dungeon line and the tree lines. Frost back to his classic deforestation gameplay that we know from TDM, and has gained therefore some maneuvering room against Tatoh. Locked in an SO stalemate here though, but on the right side the music is playing Swedish songs. ABBA has come to Vinland Saga, and they come to sing sagas of Spaden and Ganji dominance. I would let Mr. Fluffy Bunny hold my hand in public as well. Fortunately, we haven't met though. Otherwise, I think that's very doable. 4 castles remain on Morris Island, producing some longbows. He does have a mass of longbows. Nothing to really counter the rams though. The Teuton pocket really doesn't feel that great here. Maybe they were too afraid to play Teuton flank against the more Diarma style on the other side. island will be fully cleaned of Moral. What's happening? Tatoh versus Frost. Tatoh is pushing back again a bit. Tatoh and Frost seem very evenly matched, apart from game 1, where Frost Cats dominated the side, but this and last game it's like Frost pushes a bit more off the bat and then Tatoh stabilizes. Then it depends a bit on how the teams go from there. Oh, Mora still has an army. Do you need the starting island? Is the question. Kinda you do. 100 pop for Mora and kinda no space for both production and eco on the mainland now. As Spaden is pushing inwards, Ganji is crab posting inwards, Frost is donjoning inwards, and the GG is called. Sweden takes their home map on Vinland Saga. Spain was too nice, didn't force Frost to play Armenians. Amateur mistakes Malda would never make. But Frost also wouldn't make. Frost didn't let Malda play what he wanted in Carry Me or Die either. Frost also forced Malda to play Armenians. Actually, like, life is unfair, right? Malda did the same mistake against Frost and had to play Armenians. Frost makes the same mistake against Spain and can play Sicilians. Well, Frost made the same mistake against Caficho in Diamici and had to play Maya. So I guess he got the payback already? Is it a payback? I don't know. Like, obviously he did nothing wrong with selecting Malda's, but, you know, feels like getting away with murder to be able to play Sicilians here. Regardless, game was decided on the other side, but might have shaped out differently if Frost was a weaker Civ. And we were robbed of the chance to see Frost struggle with Armenians, which is very sad. Frost the only one to get trade and the most res collected, but Ganji with a Ram domination, not reflected on the KD at all, but reflected on the race destruction. Why is it an RD ratio, but then it's raisings and losses? Shouldn't it be an RL ratio then? Because here it's CD and conversions and desertions. Capture it? I know I interrupted my point for that, but that's what happens. We've not started right away, so I will use this very slim chance. Be right back. With game number 4. should have unmuted a bit later. Golden stream. We're exactly on the spectator killer. You can't mute and click on the game at the same time. Yeah, sorry, I had no time to click civs away here. At least the mods are taking care of predictions, and we're into Golden Stream as a home map for Spain, looking to tie up the series. Welcome to game number 4. Frost as a pocket with the Chinese pocket position, very important on this map for the water. Will be fighting against the Byzantine pocket of Chembridge. In the north, there are 4 different flank matchups. We've got Tatoh with the Franks flank against Kamrat, making a return with the Burmese. See if he adds trade this time. And in the south, we've got More with the Khitans. Khitans on Golden Stream. What's going on here? Khitans for More, maybe looking to rush, and Ganji is playing Armenians, something they could not have done if Team Spain forced them to play Armenians last time. Mongols in Spain hasn't been used by Team Spain, right? I think that's correct. They aren't being used here, so no Spanish, but Spanish probably for Team Islands then, I guess, as these civilizations are wild. We're using quite some lower down picks. Step Lancer rush. That's the wrong Lancer, More! More! Why are you rushing with Fire Lancers? No! You can kill Armenians if you Step Lancer rush. More gets Khitans to Fire Lancer rush? Into the Civ with the best champions in the game? What the hell? Why Frank's flank? I don't know, but we've seen that on this map before. Like, obviously, rushing with pikemen and fire lancers instead of step lancers is way worse. Man, Ganji's getting away with Armenians even having counter units to his opponent here. That's almost criminal. Tatoh with the Frank's flank. It's also a choice. Certainly should be a pretty decent matchup, actually, for the Burmese of Team Sweden. Halberdiers and Elephants. Could pose some questions to the Franks. Frost way quicker on the water. And he's Chinese, not way. But that's helping them, actually, the fact to be quick on the water. 17 docks build up in this riverbank. Opposed to 1 dock for Chembridge. Both... I mean, Team Sweden is investing more civilizations. They would have Chinese on Team Islands now. But yeah, civs are going really wild here. Why are all these civs anyways? Yeah, and I still think, like, I think it's worse the Fire Lancer hamster opening against Armenians hits me even harder than all these Civ choices. And I think like this is gonna be an easy win for the Chinese pocket. As, I mean, the only chance with these civilizations was a Step Lancer rush onto the Armenian. But now that it was a Fire Lancer rush, Chinese will just win the middle, and what happens on the flanks should be irrelevant. Maybe Kamrat even kills Tatoh here. As Kamrat is pushing hard onto Tatoh, looking to redeem himself maybe a little bit in the eyes of chat, who slandered him a lot. Elephants getting onto the throwing axeman. Scorpions behind. It's actually amazing here, right? Is no onages for the Franks at all. Bombard cannons being produced. Guess that's in theory good against the Scorpions, but not if there's elephants in front. Would have much preferred onagers here by Tatoh. So the Scorpions can counter the throwing X-Men. Kamrat making progress on this side. Other side is a stalemate. Camel traps! Camel traps! What do they even do? I've never seen them be good at anything. Not sure I will change my mind today, but Mora is trying. And Frost is, as expected, dominating the water. Byzantines have gotten some docks up, are making some navy. But I think Mora is massively not only burning the stove, but also burning the kitchen and burning down the whole house with his cooking. But maybe at the end you can eat some coal. Tatoh is stabilizing, pushing back. Kamrat's castle, elephants have entered chill mode. Dromons looking to maybe hold on the water. That's kind of the crucial area. Luchuans of the Chinese, very scary. At least won't be any Chinese on the land, but Byzantines also not playing land too much. Frost has the dragon ships here to support Ganji, who had to play the Armenians, which is no problem against the units that Mora is making. Step Lancers. The Swift gets Step Lancers. It's too late for Step Lancers though. But in the opening would have been good. And the... maybe Armenians underrated. I mean, who knows? I tend to have a good win rate with them in random Civ, random team games. Even won some flank matchups against Frost to the Armenians, so... people are sleeping on Armenians in team games, guys. No more army? But we have the camel traps. Camel traps are still alive. That's a unit? They are insane? Insane at what? It's insane to make them win Winchester, or it's insane that they kill something? Then I would wonder what they would get. Don't think they should call this unit. What they do is camel traps? I mean, they're not progressing. They can do a lot of damage. 30? I guess they're taking down the traps. They're an anti-trap weapon, I suppose. But they're not doing damage to buildings, right? They can only kill traps, really. How good are they against bombard cannons? How much range? Only 11. So less than a bombard cannon. I mean, they seem to two-shot them. It's not one-shotting, but the bombard cannon also takes 2 shots, right? Wait, are they 3-shotting them? I guess they're pretty accurate. They're 100% accurate. But bombard cannons as well. It's just a worse bombard cannon that doesn't damage buildings, right? Less range doesn't kill buildings. Yeah, it's quite useless. Bombard cannon 3 shots a trap? There no siege engineers difference? Much more mobile than a BBC? Really? I don't have any camel traps anymore. Oh, we do have one. 0.88 movement speed? That's 0.7. Yeah, okay, they're a bit faster. Demos, yes, more demos. Frost knows, man. What's Frost the one demoing? I'm so focused on the camel traps. Game is kind of stabilizing, but I don't see much navy by Chambre, and that is worrying for Team Spain, as Ganji, with pushing back, killing the army, pushing back everything of Mora, is not interested, and I really like this choice. I think that's a mistake. For example, Germany seeded, playing against Spain on this map, to try to push the bases. When you've stabilized here, you can just transition on to going to water. with either your land units or ideally your navy, and helping to push into a trade. Or just pushing on your own, I guess, is Ganji here. While Frost is actually still looking to fight sides. I'm not sure if that's necessary. I think kamrat was fine. kamrat has the highest population, actually. A lot of people are pop capped. Does kamrat have trade? But I need to look at that as well. kamrat has 30 trade cards! Let's go! Maybe kamrat is simply a flank. Eight pierce armor can be good with ranged units. Maybe. Maybe it's something for skirm wars or so. So they have a place in RM, but not really in DM. That might be some explanation why they can be situationally good in another game mode. With the pierce armor, maybe it's good if it's skirm v skirm or something. Or like skirm BBC versus skirm camel trip. And like Kitans are also a bit of a skirm civ, so I imagine that's their usage niche. So basically hamster arena late game. Was that an arena skirm game, Winchester? Oh, I stopped the ads on the last second. Thank me with a sub. And also then don't get ads in 5 minutes. As Ganji is pushing through the middle now. They haven't pushed into the trade yet. Water situation is clear. The middle is heavily fortified. All these Chinese castles already, they look like concrete blocks. Like this could be my local... Like, I missed the English word. I look car park, but it's not car park. Parking garage? Multi-story car park? American English parking garage. Alright. That doesn't sound as symbolic as park house, but... This could be my local multi-story car park, I guess, and then you have 8 of them. Brutalist architecture. Yes, brutalist architecture, but I don't know. Park house is a very speaking word for something boring, purely made out of concrete, naked, ugly. But it only really works if it's one word, I think. These English speakers were splitting up the words, man. Frost is great castle placement. It's just locking down the gold. Don't need to trade as much. Frost is, I guess, not really trading. 15 trade cards because he's all using that. Navy now for Morris, so has also switched to Navy. Now, don't ask me how good the Khitan Navy is, because I will tell you. It has no shipwright, no dry dock, at least a speed upgrade, and no galleon. Oh, we're looking at war galleys. Oh no, we're looking at war galleys. Oh, the Americans don't know to do it in multiple stories? I guess, yeah. That's why... Makes sense, so. Keller not even having a sub. SMH my head. Didn't you have a sub earlier, Keller? Check your prime subs. GG is cold as frost as Navy reaches the trade of the opposing team. What a bathtub, Sabaton? I mean, you can just look at my PRP screen, no? There's water and a picture of me, and it's even moving. Isn't this the bathtub subathon already? I mean, I guess not a subathon. I'm not full time. I need the subs first so I can do a subathon. Cap trade. Back to cap trade. Frost pushes through with the Navy. It was a bit long time coming. We deviated a little bit from the game onto parking spots and other things, but I think that was fine. We learned that camel traps are bad. We learned that Chinese RP, we knew that one before. And Sweden, with an understandable lineup, I feel like, but Chinese investment here as opposed to TI wins against the questionable lineup from Team Spain. And questionable openings in part as well. Frost with 500 kills. Chinese Navy dominant as ever so often. That means, though, Team Islands, Chinese and Spanish, will be available for Team Sweden, whereas for Team Spain, whereas Sweden has used their Chinese, they also used their Burmese and their Armenians, to the surprise of some, have been played and won. As on the other side, we played Frank's Flank, something they took out of the Great Britain B playbook, apparently. And the Byzantine pocket at least made some sense. And then we had a Khitan Fire Lancer rush, more mixing up his Lancers. Sweden wins their home maps. Spain won a home map, lost another one. Costa won Kawasan and Team Islands remaining. We are going to Team Islands indeed. So Spain looking to bounce back here, because they still have Chinese. Yeah, assists from game 3. That's a good point, Amons. Amons is listing them. Amons, are you feeling like being a mod again? Could use you, maybe. I miss our times with those jungle mods. We never did that quiz show. Still have to play a AV2 quiz against you. But first I should do what you asked me to. Sicilians, Teutons, Britons. That was... Wait, I can't see it as Sicilians. That was Spain. Those Sicilians, Teutons, Britons versus Sicilians, Bulgarians, and Magyars. Okay, so probably 4-2, because I think Spain probably takes this one with Chinese and Spanish available. I would agree, and I said to 4-2, right? So going well for my prediction. But you shouldn't assume too much, because then you make an ass out of you and me. Prediction is up, and game 5 is starting. We do have Spanish and Chinese and Malay, the ultra strong lineup for Team Spain, going against Italians way Malay. So not even the Spanish plate on Team Islands will be safe for Kawasan. Most probably by Frost. I think Frost will play Spanish on Kawasan himself, would be my prediction. Score needs updating? Oh, this score does, yeah. Thanks, Gilly. Prediction is up for game 5. I kill her now, it's already 40 seconds. Suno Yoda Walker has entered the chat according to his grammar. And we have entered a Team Islands game with 2 nations with quite some water access. Spain versus Sweden. Frost is playing as the Italians on the left side. In the middle, we've got Spaden with the going market. And on the right side, we've got Ganji with the Malay. Ganji will be facing Tatoh's Chinese in the middle, Chambridge with the Malay, and market for Mora as the Spanish. Let's see who got the market, can be really important here. And Spaden sold food first. No, they sold simultaneously. And then there was, I think, more notifications even. So market same time between Mora and Spaden. Well played by Spaden, who doesn't get Spanish builders. Will be back docks all around for the Swedish. So they changed their approach or compared to the last time they played Team Islands. But that's probably because of the civilizations. With Wei, you can't really do triple front dock or like even the Malay shield front dock strategy. Because the Wei are too slow, so the Malay will shield the side where the Chinese are. So it's actually kind of nice for Team Sweden that they have the Malay harbors here, kind of blocking off this area with all the rangings. Oh, all the docks get ranges now, but these ones don't need to have fish in them, and therefore the Wei can get their loot runs out. Still, obviously, Chinese Navy very strong, dragon ships, and the stronger loot runs as well, as they get plus 25% attack. No, they fire rockets instead. I don't actually know what that means, that they fire rockets instead. I'm kind of assuming it's also plus 25%, but what does a rocket do instead of an arrow, I guess, what they shoot otherwise? Legend! Thank you so much for the gift sub to Laktraze. And also thanks for not gifting one to Keller. He needs to sub himself. Harbors in the middle for Chambridge here. I don't see a landing. Never mind, there is a landing. So Legend is... I'm missing the word. Black results are great, and Legend is gifting him a sub for it, I guess, as we do have stables coming up and Battle Elephants coming out of them. Chambridge with a Malay landing. So for once, it's not the Goths that are landing. Heavy Navy fights on the left side. Frost 1v2ing with the Italians and against the Spanish behind. Where are the cannon gains? What? Not again? Why are we playing Spanish? To play 55 regular galleons? Man, Mora and his unit choices. If Mora would just make more correct units sometimes, Team Spain would do so much better in the series. And it's double navy on the right side. Ganji plus Spaden. Trying to hold Tatoh's Chinese Navy. They had a really close Team Islands game. Bit surprised they picked Team Islands again, because Russians really gave them a run for their money there. Once again, there is a landing. Spain, I think, landed last Team Islands game as well. There was more a landing with the Goths, I think. Now it's Chambridge landing with the Malay. Going for the elephants. Military buildings. Reaction is kind of already there, but they force a reaction, so then they can win water. That's more the theory of landings on Team Islands Deathmatch. Yeah, Morris once again, I don't know, trying to light a bonfire within his kitchen. Just go cannon galleons! No, I think that's kind of the opposite of cooking. It's just playing standard water and not using your bonus. I feel like that's like, I don't know, cold starters? Maybe? But letting him sit on the kitchen table for 3 days? Until they've acquired salmonella? The combined navy for Sweden is looking really nice, actually. The mix of blue and green, with all the Luchuans in green and the other blue ships around, this is beautiful. And Tatoh is caught in the middle in an unfortunate situation. Cambridge still has some navy here. The landing isn't really doing much besides forcing a reaction. Don't even really think it killed villagers. 4 villagers only killed by the landing. So good response, maybe a bit slower landing as well with the elephants there. Not as impressive as the Goth landing. You miss when they shoot even faster? Were they nerfed? They still shoot that fast, no? Are they nerfed? Well... 6 cannons. It's supposed to be 60 cannons, bro! They feel slower than they used to. They got straight up nerfed in the water patch? No, on short distance they still feel super fast. Ah, they're still fast. Now some more are coming finally. Now it's going up to 10, but they're supposed to be part of the army and he's just using them like cannon gains. As opposed to Spaden, who has no other ships than Luchuans. I mean, Luchuans are probably even more broken than Spanish cannon gains in some regards, but... Whale Luchuans aren't the greatest. They're cheaper though, so you can make more of them. Civilization doesn't get shipwright though, so they're really expensive. And I guess they have less pierce armor with no dry dock, but that's not the biggest thing. Clearing out the docks is what they do fine. Counter landing by Ganji on the right side. 2 castles and siege workshop behind. Automod is finally a mod that's censoring Zhao's bad jokes. Automod, best mod in my whole mod team, clearly. Fast fires, trying to stop Mora's very traditional Spanish navy. And the other mods, besides Automod, are obviously Titanic, allowing that thing again. Mora calls the GG as Ganji has landed the island and is going through here, and the Spanish push is stopped on the left side. We underused the Spanish bonus for Team Spain, and after the series looked very solid on game 2 for Tatoh and crew. Sweden wins the quarterfinals 4-1 with arguably worse civilizations on Team Islands. GG's. Sweden is victorious. I will ask them for a winner interview, and then in 50 minutes we already have yet another quarterfinals. We do have, and that one should be super close in my opinion, Great Britain going against... Why is my mind blanking so much today? Man, I hate myself. Great Britain was Austria, of course, Austria. I was just hoping that I would remember it while I was still trying to finish my sentence. Oh no. 4-1, congratulations to Sweden though. Strong performance with a little shaky moments. Message the captain, go to streaming. And Sweden wins 4-1. Spain gave a fight, especially in game 2. Unknown player representing Team Austria.
Austria.
I could have just said representing team and then sub-message would have done the Austria. Thank you so much, unknown player. for the 21 months already. Let's go. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Welcome, Team Sweden. Is Spaden coming as well? There he is.
Yep.
And welcome all of Team Sweden, and congratulations for reaching the semifinals. How did the set feel today?
It was good. It was good. A little bit sad we lost the game though. I'll blame Ganji for that, but it's okay.
You blame Ganji for that.
Yeah, he's our scapegoat.
Why are you blaming Ganji for that game?
No,
You're
like,
just blaming
even if it's not
Ganji in
his fault,
general?
it's his fault. It's
I'll
always
take
his fault.
credit for the wins and credit for the losses.
Exactly.
And he was late.
Yeah.
But that didn't really matter.
Unbelievable. I have to stress my way home and then they are late 25 minutes.
Yeah, I was about to ask how you can be late with you were all in the lobby. Spain was nowhere to be seen.
Oh.
Yeah, all right. Congratulations. We can talk a bit more about game 2 when we go through the games. But generally, did you expect a closer series, a less close series, an about as close series?
I think it was about as expected. I would say it was good. Like not really stomps, and like there were some good games there.
Yep.
I wouldn't disagree either. So I guess let's go through the games. Game 1, we started on Runestones. That was quick. And
Okay,
that
that was a
every
quick game.
Team Frost game I've seen in Carry Me or Die. Frost wins his side alone, and the other two players win their side quickly as well, because they just play 2v 1.5.
I think we played 2v2 that one though, but I think More just had a really bad start with the Bulgarians. He lost 2 vills to my halbraids, and I think Spaden got some vill kills as well. Then there's not much to do.
Yeah, and it looked like Celts are taking out Bohemians really efficiently.
Yeah,
Obviously.
Kelt is so freaking strong.
Obviously, lead up to game 2, because apparently Ganji is to blame for the loss, and he had to play Bohemians versus Celts there. So how does those two go together?
Well, it's a bit about the player skill as well. But Kelt is extremely hard to deal with. Just, I guess, with any civ, to be fair, but Bohemia is not that great into them. Sure, you can snipe the singular SO here and there very easily, but once they have C-Tram and more SOs, then it's really hard to control everything. And camel swings on top of that.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like in game 3, if we compare the individual civ positions, all 3 of them think you had a worse civ in all 3 fronts. It helps a bit if you make Honor just as Bohemians, which Mora didn't do in game 1, but you did in game 2. But...
Yeah, I mean, it helps a little bit, that's for sure. But still, like, even the votes are really strong. Like, just sniping my siege and being annoying and stuff. But I persevered. I would say I played decently there, but it was too hard in the end versus Caravanserai trade, which they actually set up. Unbelievable. When I spectate, no one sets it up, and when I play them, they do it perfectly. It's awesome.
They didn't do it perfectly. They had 2 or 3 gaps.
Okay.
We did a Caravanserai check, and but I said in the cast that you were already doing the Caravanserai check in game. I guess we count that as a confirmation.
Yeah. Yes, 100%.
As we're already on the topic of Ganji right now, there is, at least chat seems to remember that Team Spain in the last winner interview said that Ganji would be overrated. I'm not exactly sure if chat is correct, and my memory is fuzzy, but how do you respond?
Well, if they thought I'm the best in the world, then I'm slightly overrated, it's true.
Good response.
That's a good answer.
As we're talking about tricks of the trade, Kamrat, when did you learn them in game 2?
What? Trade?
Well,
Oh, I
one
don't
side
know.
had Caravanserai, the other side had a pocket with 0 trade cards around the 20-minute mark.
I don't know.
Maybe Ganji should have
Yeah.
checked his own team's trade line more often than the opponent's trade line.
Yeah. It's also his fault, I think.
Yeah, because he didn't check. He didn't check, right? He checked the
Everything is Ganji's fault.
Caravanserai of the opponent, but he didn't check your trade.
it's
It's clearly
completely-
Ganji's fault.
Well, Keshik do get gold from fighting, so I suppose that's enough.
Plus minus 1.
All right, but then we turn to the third player. Frost, you looked good at the start, right? You raised Tato's base, but then it was like a slow Magyar grind that ensued. Then, how did it feel for you?
Yeah, I ran out of rest there eventually, and after that, it was just a slow grind to the corner, to like our corner. I was falling back slowly, and eventually I couldn't hold at all.
We
I think we knew like 30 minutes before that it was kind of inevitable we would lose to the Caravanserai trade, so we tried some things up top, but it felt like it was working like at least 3-4 times, but then we got pushed back by like so much army and had to redo it all the time. It was a hard game.
Yeah, I also don't think Tatoh Pocket struggles a bit against just full Imperial camera, right?
Yeah.
Even if like you can't really use cache because then there's camels. Even if there was a bit more gold for your team.
It's tricky.
But
they did use much better stuff there, so we're not like totally surprised that we lost that game. But it means they have weaker lineups for the next games, right? So all in all, we should be fine.
One thing that you just mentioned, like you would have done something different if you knew that it was a grind down game. And that we talked a lot about as well as the polar raids, as Chad called it. And we felt like when you realized that you started losing your side, first reaction was like send 60 paladins forward.
Yeah, I had to try something. Yeah. Try to drag some units into the trade or something. Maybe Tatoh follows, but no, only their pocket was following. So it didn't really do anything, those raids. I was just losing more units then.
Yeah, do you feel like that backfired because Tatoh didn't take the bait?
I don't really think it backfired. I mean, I would have died eventually anyway, I think. I couldn't really reach his traps once he just blocked with all his cav archers.
All right.
I think it was fine. It just didn't work this time.
Then game 3 was Vinland Saga, right? Yeah, Ganji's fault.
Everything today is Ganji's fault. Everything.
Also picking hands, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Frost, how happy are you that Chambra or Tatoh isn't Malda?
Yeah, that's very nice. They let us pick our Civ, the replacement Civ. That's very nice of them.
But we have to pay them a year for it, so I'm not sure if it's worth.
Yeah, we have to like I think crowdfund that bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, then you couldn't have played Armenians on Golden Stream either. I mean, if they would have picked the
Well,
obvious.
I think they would have. They were like real competitive and wanted to win. They would pick Mongols there first, right? Then it would grow plans pretty hard, or something like that.
People were saying pick as if they need on Team Islands, but I guess you didn't invest that much into Team Islands, so yeah, Coast to Mountain Plan winning would have helped more probably.
That would have been a disaster.
Well, I guess this way you won Vinland Saga, right? Otherwise you might not have. But Mongols wouldn't have been too bad, right? Then we'd have Mongols versus Sicilians. Would have been that bad.
It's just that it's such a good save that it feels like a complete waste. And if we do lose that one, then we have a really bad map after it, where we planned for it.
Yeah, but since if you don't lose for it, then you don't need to play Coast to Mountain like it happened. Well, that's a lot of theory, but yeah, I get what you say. It makes sense. Otherwise, that game was also. I feel like Mora needs to make more honor draws, and I think that's pretty much all to be said about that game.
I think he needs to. Are we talking about Vinland Saga game?
Yeah.
I think he needs to rush that castle a little bit sooner. I think he was too many villas on 2 castles rather than 1. I think Spaden like 2 villas on the castle foundation with the CA. So he had a nice start there. Britain is scary though if they get rolling, but managed a good push. And from the Frost, so he's holding versus Tatoh and even pushing.
Hey,
Perfect.
Ganji, what's happening with your mic? I was thinking of inviting you to Kokos sometime soon, but you need to fix your mic before that. For the interview, it's
I think
okay.
my internet. I've been lag spiking all day, so could be that.
Yeah.
Everything Ganji's fault.
Yeah. Did you hear my answer?
Yeah, I heard your answer. It's just crackling a little bit. One can understand you. For the interview, it's okay. I'm struggling to find questions for Spaden because he always did the right thing from pocket and won his sides, so there isn't much to ask. Spaden, how did the set feel for you?
I don't know. Comfortable. Play 1 unit, snipe villagers. All I had to do. No, I don't know. No other comment really. Just, I mean, in the first game, just playing full paladin with Franks and then full CA on Vinland Saga. Just nice to play support role. No need to carry or anything. Just do the thing.
And then we went to Golden Stream. There was some wild civilizations in that Golden Stream game.
I mean, that's where we were planning on using Sicilians initially. We had to throw in something else there.
And that's why you played Armenians there.
Yeah. To my happiness. I was the one proposing it as well, but then I also took it on my own, and I regretted it. Don't like that.
Did you regret it? Why would you have regretted it?
Yeah.
I thought you would have rejoiced the moment that you were rushed with Fire Lancers instead of with Step Lancers, and you had the perfect champion outside that.
Yeah, that's true. But I had a bit of a shoppy opening anyway.
Oh, God, but yeah, I didn't have time to focus on that. I was raging on the wrong Lancers being made against it.
Yeah, that was a bit weird, for sure. But he did shoot me over the castle foundation. That was a bit annoying.
Well, both Lancers can shoot over walls in some way.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, but the game overall, like, kamrat, your side looked pretty solid as well. I think against Franks, there was also a bit of an odd choice. How was it for you playing flank?
Yeah, it was nice. I did get some help from Frost, but I kept him off raiding, I guess, if that was his goal, because he was locked into throwing axemen.
Yeah, maybe the goal was like paladins with ships. That was not a possibility.
I guess.
Well, and the final game was Team Islands. You had way worse civilizations. And I've seen you playing a different strategy, right? With the Malay front dock blockade in the group stage before. And now you did back docks. Was that just because, well, way is slow and then all the civs need to back dock?
Seems like you got an idea of it. Not sure if we can
reveal too many strats here.
Exactly.
No comment.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, versus China, you have to just be defensive, right? Like, China is fucking broken. But I think Tatoh is not using them properly. Too few Luchans.
Well, we could also talk about the amount of cannon gains by the Spanish, but
yeah, that was also a little bit. Yeah, well, did he make 10 or something?
He had 10 at the end of the game. He had 2 or 3 for most of the game.
Oh, yeah.
Then it's a bit useless having Spanish. Obviously for the trade it's good, but yeah.
Yeah. I think they did that before as well. They should watch more of my casts. But they made skirmishes on the group stage as well, so they're not believing me anyways, you know.
And Frost did spot the landing pretty early, so that was good. We could snipe the
Yeah,
Vills, so he didn't like...
I learned my
more.
lesson from last time. I learned my lesson.
Did you see the Schweiz
No,
game
I
yet,
still haven't
Otter?
seen it. But Daisy apparently rushed Frost down to 3 villages, is what I heard.
Yeah. He was hiding in
Yeah.
the transport ship, this fucker.
I don't think I've ever seen Frost so dead in a DM game.
He was flabbergasted on voice as well. He didn't know what to do. It's like, I'm just dead.
Kamrat, save me.
Yeah,
Like
I
your guts.
really need to watch that still. Admiral Jar says Ganji is the coolest suite, probably. But there's a suite in this room that's literally named Frost.
I don't know if you can trust anything Admiral Zhao says ever.
Yeah.
You
So
missed the
Ganji
joke.
says
guy.
Frost is the coolest suite as well.
Oh, because he's... Okay,
Frost is cool.
that's terrible.
There you go, Ganji.
That's terrible.
Somebody could use that. Maida is asking where the Swedish shovel is.
I'm here. I'm just quiet, letting the big boys do the talking.
We have more chat
Not
questions.
that
Feel
big,
free
man.
to ask them. Otherwise, you're in the semis now, and you would actually face the winner of the match that we're about to see. Great Britain A versus Austria. What are your expectations, and who would you like to play against?
I guess we don't really know too much about the Austrian team. I don't know if they've been like tested as well properly.
Killing the freaking brothers is always really fun. So I would like to do that. I think we won't have any issues with GBA, even though they're very strong, because we kind of know how they play and everything. But Austria is a bit more wild card. I think Andy has a higher peak than many, but also has a very low. So I don't actually know how they will play at all.
You feel that comfortable against the Great Britain guys?
Well, we
played them
know
before.
exactly how they play and everything. I think it's going to be like a good match, but I would call us favorites. Because Austria, I have no idea. But killing freaking Andy and freaking Chris is always fun. Gotta go for that one.
All right.
Maybe my team disagrees, I'm not sure, but
I'm hoping for UK. Hope they win.
But that's more
But,
you root
I'm-
for your teammates, right? You root
Yeah,
for
I'm
like
way more biased. Like
Daywalker
my
and
whole
Polar
my
there.
whole clan is in the UK, so
so you want to kill your teammates? That's kind of rough.
I guess so. Yeah.
It's a question of loyalty here.
Well, I see it as like we will have a Sudo in the final then, in some way.
Yeah,
If,
okay.
yeah.
That's
That's
how I
true.
would typically see it as well. Yeah.
No, but GBA Austria is going to be very interesting to see.
I think it's a coin flip. Whoever wins that could go
Probably.
either way.
Yeah. Do you guys have predictions? Like, give me some score predictions for Austria GB.
4-2
Kamrat, you start.
to UK. 4-2 to UK.
Who's the third player in Austria? Is it Winchester?
Winchester.
In Winchester.
Hmm. I've never seen him play DM, I think. I don't know. I think the UK guys have learned their lesson from group stage. So I think UK will win like 4-2.
Ganji?
You have to say Austria now. You know that, right?
Yeah, it can't be boring and say GB. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Austria
After you said
4-3.
you want to face them. 4-3. Okay. Not much trust. All right. Loyalty. Frost and reason
I mean,
of
I don't
Sweden
care
is
that much,
Spaden is
but
stronger. Kamrat, what's your answer?
I also like Austria. I think they will do 4-3.
You're kind of biased as well because you're also Austrian, right?
Yeah, no, I have shared loyalty there as well.
Let's go UK. Let's
you
go.
guys are so loyal.
So
Who cares about
Team
loyalty?
Sweden is split through the middle for the match we're about to see. There's your news, guys. Maida asked why he lost game 2, but we already know the answer. That's all Ganji's fault. If there's more chat questions, this is the last chance. Otherwise, thanks for coming to talk to me, guys, and good luck in the semis. And I hope you watch with bated breath as we see who your opponents will be.
Yeah,
All right,
we're
thank
gonna
you, man.
watch.
Thank you,
GG.
guys. See you
Thank you.
around.
See ya.
Peace.
What should we do versus USA? Malta. You should have lost against UKA first round. That's what you should have done. Well, forward to Sweden. We have another match in half an hour. I will prepare everything and then take a break, I think. So let's see who's on the top end. Great Britain will be on the left side. And I wish like the sides and brackets all could agree on if it's United Kingdom or Great Britain, but I guess I'll never get that. And on the other side we have Austria. At least there's no naming disputes with that country. Gulf of Austria, by the way.